He woke, dangling upside down, like a sleeping bat, in an enclosure as dark and almost as small as the confessional. He heard a drawn-out screech. A foul smell rose into his nostrils. Then, the fog of sleep lifting from his brain, he realized that the screeching was the silver meteor's wheels, shrilling on the rails as the train came to a sudden stop in the middle of the night. The violence of the deceleration had almost thrown him out of his upper berth. His legs and feet were tangled in the bedsheets, which were all that had stopped him from falling headfirst into the toilet. Twisting sideways, he reached up with one hand, grasped the sideboard of the berth, and pulled himself back into bed. He lay breathless for a few moments. The terror soon passed, and grief came in its place. The same grief that had ridden with him to the train station, that had sat beside him at dinner in the dining car, and finally crawled into bed with him, clutching him as he'd fallen asleep. It had let him go while he dreamed, and, like a lover sure of its claim on his heart, waited as he flirted with rival emotions, patiently waited for the dalliances to end and the chance to embrace him again. Voices began speaking, a man and a woman. They sounded as if they were talking to a conductor. Had there been an accident, the woman asked, and then the man, should they get dressed in case they had to evacuate? Dante swung out of bed, switched on the light, and raised the window to look up and down the tracks. All he saw were the lights from other windows planing across the gravel roadbed. A woods lay beyond. The trees ranked so thick in the blackness that he would have thought the train was stuck in a tunnel if it weren't for the scent of wet earth and pine and flowering dogwood. All right, they were in the middle of a woods, but where? The silver meteor had pulled out of Miami at a little past 2 in the afternoon, and it was now 12:30 in the morning. 10 hours at an average speed of, say, 60 miles an hour would put it in Georgia for sure, maybe in South Carolina. He got into his jeans and stepped barefoot into the aisle, where he saw that the man and the woman were questioning not a conductor but themselves. The aisle was crowded with a dozen other passengers milling in confusion. Dante grew worried.